Hello, world. I'm here with you today to remind you of a truth in you you already know. A truth you have always known but can't remember. It is a truth of self most have chosen to ignore. A truth of self most pretend to have forgotten. It is a subtle truth resembling a subtle self. I speak of the sublimely unblemished self that exists within you. A self in you that exists beyond all mental concepts and therefore beyond all limitations. It is the absolute self in you. Deep down, you know it's there, but have yet to discover because of a truth, a dormant truth in you, at last ready to be awakened. The truth of self in you is the truth of self in all. It is the unrealized truth in you and of you about a self now ready to be released. A self no longer willing to be silent, with a truth no longer capable of being ignored and rejected by a fearful mind, a conditioned human mind lost in its own unconsciousness, an ephemeral state of ignorance no longer necessary for you to endure, because it's time for you to embrace your truth by releasing all that is untrue and surrendering to the truth of self within. This is your supreme reality, a reality that is indiscriminately available to all. Available to all, but accessible only to those ready to let go, ready to transcend the limitation of their own conditioned mindset, an illusory limitation that will cease the moment the truth of self within is recognized. And by you recognizing such a truth in you, there will also be a recognition of the truth of self in all. This instinctive recognition of self, also known as a spiritual awakening, is a consequence of an absolute release, a permanent detachment, separating all you think you know and all you think you are from the truth of self in you. It is a manifestation of the self expressing itself through you as you, because it is you. It is an expansion of consciousness only accessible through a complete surrender, an absolute releasement of attachment to perception. It is only here where true freedom can be found. where the awakening you seek awaits. An awakening from the fearful dream of mind. A futile mind, creator of a futile world, but only futile until the world you see becomes the world that sees you. Self-recognition is triggered by the self looking at itself. It is like looking into a mirror. However, in this case, the mirror reflects all there is. And as you begin to recognize the truth of self in you, the world will become your reflection. And when the world becomes your reflection, the world will disappear, allowing you to embrace the truth of self in all, discovering your supreme reality, a reality you share with all there is, because all there is the self. Nothing else exists. Just a single truth known by a single self. A truth that will emerge within you the instant you stop seeking. The moment you stop looking outside of you for what you already are. So stop seeing others as others and take a step towards your truth by seeing yourself in all you see. This is the end result of an exhausting journey, a journey through the dream of mind, a journey we have endured for countless lifetimes, a journey leading you to a faded recognition, a long-awaited remembrance of your supreme truth, a truth of self in you, once upon a time was long forgotten. On earth, there are countless rivers. All eventually find themselves flowing back into the ocean from where they came from. After a long journey, the same water that once left will return to its point of origin. In the same manner, you are destined to complete your cycle and return to the ocean of consciousness from where you emerged. Your endless search will come to an end when you discover the truth of self in you, a truth of self awaiting to be embraced, a truth of self without attachments, free to rest alone without an opposite, existing underneath all there is and above all there isn't. You will know you have found your ocean of truth when all you see is the unveiled truth in all you see. This is why our true self can never be forgotten. It is the reason why you are here, in search of your truth, navigating your way back home. You are absolute consciousness, guiding an unconscious version of itself through a dualistic existence across countless lifetimes. This is your mission, a mission that is unwavering and timeless. It is what the absolute self in you has intended for you to experience. Only then will the endless cycles of birth and death cease. Cycles of birth and death confined to an existence of pleasure and pain, imprisoned by the world of cause and effect, a world of form created in you, and in the end, uncreated by you. The truth of self in you awaits your arrival, patiently waiting for you to complete your long awaited return, resting in the knowing that all there is the truth of self in you. This is a realization open to all, here and now. It is an awakening within reach, with a simple shift in awareness, an internal shift leading you to an internal truth, a truth capable of triggering a profound transformation, an ascension into complete self-awareness, an awareness of self once driven by perception will now emanate from non-perception. It is how truth unveils itself. It is where all that is untrue dissolves, allowing you to find acceptance in the unacceptable and joy in the joyless. It is where the fearful become truly fearless and the restless peaceful. It is here where all you think you are and all you think you know dissolves, as every thought in you surrenders to the truth of you. Accept it or not, this is where the path you're on will lead you to, either in this lifetime or the next. In the end, after countless life cycles, you will find what you have been looking for: your truth, a truth of self in you and of you that's been hiding in plain sight, cleverly avoiding detection, all the while reminding you it is everywhere you look, looking back at you, showing you it has always been there, always in you, because it is you. Truth of self will make its presence felt. It may come in an instant or gradually over time, allowing joy and peace to be experienced unconditionally. The meaningless will become meaningful, the fearful fearless, and love will unveil all that is true from the untrue. And as you discover your truth, point others to theirs. As you awaken, help others awaken. Because in the end, truth of self is all there is. And all there is the truth of self in you. Hey world, I hope you have enjoyed my latest creation. This podcast is intended to assist your awakening. My greatest wish is to help all who are ready discover their truth of self within. If you have enjoyed what you've heard, please leave me a comment, like, share, and subscribe. But most importantly, be kind. Be kind to yourself and others. Thank you.